Hi there everybody, it's Verity here from inkybutterfly.com. Thank you so much for joining me today for another Stamp Around UK video hop. So once a month UK demos will all participate in this hop. We are using a theme of winter this time around. All the links are going to be in the description, so if you click in the description and press more a couple of times, you'll see a great long list of video links there to work your way through and see what everyone's been making. Okay, so I'm going to do a variation on this card today, which is super pretty. I had to make a custom sized card, which ended up 4 by 5 3/8, just to make this panel fit nicely onto the card. So we've got Snowy Delights. That's where the sentiment is coming from. Okay, that has dies that go with it, and a decorative mask as well. Actually, we're not using the mask today. And then we've got this great snowflake, which is really nice and large. It's about 3 by 3.5 inches, so it's a really nice die. And you've got the frames that go around, and you've got this really cool one. It's a little bit more delicate as well. So that's a really nice bundle, and you get decorative masks with that one as well. But then this one I got later on. This is called Snowflake Kisses, and we've got this awesome background die in here, which is just lush. Cute circle, and then lots of individual snowflakes. And then this one cuts into the cardstock to give you like a decorative corner, which is going to be cute. I've also used this little strip here to create some little embellishments as well. So we'll leave this one out, and we'll get going. So just to say, I'm going to mix it up a little bit. So this one's actually got a bit of vellum on the back as well, which is sort of diffusing the colour on the background. Okay, but we're going to skip that step today on the video. And I've tried to do a bit of the die cutting ahead of time, just to not make this too long a video. Okay, so that's what we're aiming for. We're going to mix up the colours, because this is sort of very, blue and wintry kind of thing. So I've used Misty Moonlight for the little stars, flakes, whatever, and the sentiment, and then this is Cloud Cover, and the rest is just white. Okay, so I'm going to bring in some fresh freesia to do my snowflake. So we'll cut that out in a second. And then I've got a white card base cut to size. I've also got a card panel cut to size that I can die cut into, and I'm going to be using lots of double-sided sticky sheet. Okay, so I've got some sticky sheet on that for the background, so we're going to cut into that in a bit. This fresh freesia, I've also got some sticky sheet on that, so we'll be cutting into that so we get a nice sticky snowflake. And I've already done one ahead of time as well. Okay, so let's do some die cutting then. Okay, and then this is our target. Okay, so we'll do our snowflake first. So like I say, I've just got some sticky sheet on the back, and we'll just position that and run this through the die cut machine. And I'm actually going to roll it backwards and forwards a couple of times. So you've got the because you've got that extra layer to cut through, just doing that extra back and forth is going to help get through those extra bits. Okay, but you can see it's cut through because you can see that line. Okay, see how those, you can see the cut lines, so it's cut through. But the sticky sheet will be sticky, so it's not difficult. It's just you've got to make sure you get that out, basically. All right, okay, so a couple of bits have just stuck in there, so of course we'll just use our pokey tool just to release those and make sure that's nice and clean, ready to put away. And you can see how that's holding on to that. Okay, so you just need to just gently pull that out from the background cardstock. Okay, just gently. As I say, it just wants to hold on because it's sticky, that's all. Okay, it's cut through, just need to persuade it to come out. So it doesn't take a minute, just a little bit of manipulation. Okay, and you know, a little bit of this is easier than trying to apply glue to all those little tiny little pieces. Okay, just add these center parts there. It's a really beautiful die, and of course these would just fall out if it was just one layer of cardstock. So just a little bit of persuasion just to get that out. Okay, and what we're going to do is actually layer this together so we get a bit more dimension on the snowflake. So you might need to use a pokey tool or something just to get it started. So if you just sort of get underneath there, but once you've started it, it should come off reasonably straightforwardly. But it's just, obviously it's a delicate shape, so just take it easy. And then you've got this super cute shape there, and then you're gonna have to be hold your breath and layer this together with our white one that we've already cut ahead of time. Sorry if my head gets in the way. I just want to get this lined up as best I can. And you might think that actually it's easier just to wrestle with some glue, and that's fine too. Everyone, you do you, whatever you find easier. But this hopefully is going to give me something a little bit more solid to work with, and layering up is going to give it that dimension. You could totally skip that step, just use a cardstock one and just still use the sticky sheet, but just use that to stick it down. And then we've got a sticky sheet on the back of there to add it to our card in a little bit. Okay, and basically we're going to do the same here. We've got a sticky sheet and we've got this lovely panel which I've already cut down to size, so I'm going to center that on there, which is about there, and I'm just going to put a couple of bits of tape on this just to make sure it doesn't shift in the machine. And we're going to do that again. We're going to roll it through a couple of times to get our background layer done. Probably should have done this ahead of time, but I wanted you to sort of at least see part of this process. But I think it might be obviously there's a lot more pieces to poke out, but this one definitely isn't straightforward to stick down with wet glue, especially for someone who's heavy-handed like me. Okay, just getting that sticky stuff. A couple of little bits that were just stuck on there, and get a bonus circle for your efforts. Which we can keep to one side, and that's already got sticky on it, so I can use that. And then we can start pulling this away from the die, nice and gently, and then some of the bits might actually stick in the dye, which will help, in this particular case is going to be helpful, because then we won't have to pick them out, but seem to be coming away mostly, so we'll pick that out later. And then I'm going to just go through and punch out all of these little bits now. Okay, and I'm going to pause there rather than you watch me do all that. I'm going to do that off camera and come back when I've done it. Okay, so all the little pieces have been taken out of that now, so that's now a sticky, got sticky back on it, ready to put on to our card. Now I'm just going to take a little bit of ink and add that to the background. I'm not looking to blend it particularly, I just want to break up the white so that we've got something showing through. So it's only going to show through around the outside because that's going to go in the middle. Okay, and that was just whatever that might be, so that's sort of Summer Splash or Coastal Cabana or something like that. I just used what was left on my blending brush there. I didn't even go back to an ink pad. So we can now peel away this, which should come away oh, beautiful, right, nice and easily. And then we have to get this onto our card front. So just gonna do what I always do and line that up at the bottom there, get those two corners lined up, and gently lower that down, trying to keep those sides nice and straight. It will want to try and bend a little bit and stuff, but you'll be able to then press it down. And you know, acrylic blocks are really good for being able to rub things down flat because they're nice and smooth and don't have any sharp edges. They're rounded, so you can get that laid down nicely like so, and that covers the whole of that front of the card. Okay, so we've got our snowflake that we can add over the top. So again, once you got a couple of those off, that should come off quite easily like it did on the fresh one. And we've now got another little snowflake that we can use. So you can choose to put it slap bang in the middle of that circle or not, as the case may be. I'm going to just go a little bit off piste again, and again you can just use a block and give that a really good burnish and make sure it's all nice and stuck down. Okay, and then I've already cut out a few of those little stars or whatever. I suppose they're supposed to be snowflakes, but little embellies there. So I'm just going to make sure some of those are turned over and make sure that they're ready to go. Okay, probably got more than we need anyway. And we'll pop some I need my take a pick tool, which I have forgotten to take out. Where's it gone? It's the wrong way up in my little holder, so let's grab that. And I'm just going to pop dabs of glue in and around where I want these to go. So let's go with that for now, because I know the sentiment's going to go down here somewhere. So reduce the take your pick there just to get these positioned. That blob of glue was a little bit big, but it'll dry clear, no worries. pop those down. That one's probably a bit big and that one's not big enough, so we'll just dab a bit of that. Oh, excuse me. Oh, I don't know where that came from. It happened to me the other day when I was filming. It's like I pressed the button and something irritates my nose. Okay, right, so I've got that, and then we need to add our sentiment. So I didn't really want to put too many down here until I've positioned this. Okay, so we'll get the Summer Splash ink just to coordinate it all together. I think I could do all sorts of colours, I guess, but and then this is a shape from Stylish Shapes. I think I might be a little bit obsessed with this stamp, with this die set, because I seem to reach for it all the time, and these banners are particularly useful. Okay, so we'll just pop that onto there, which is cute. Okay, and of course it's all matchy. I'll just use some seal and add that to our card. Maybe that there. No dimensionals, I'm just going to stick it flat. And then we've probably got room for a couple more. Oh, let's not have so much of that glue, shall we not? So we'll take a bit of that and spread it over it. And pop one in there. And that is our card for today, in a bit of, you know, some different colours, just to sort of mix it up a bit and do something a little bit different. But obviously, you know, you can do what you want, of course, and use the colours that appeal to you for these cards. I think it's really cute though, so having something different. Okay, lots of texture without too much dimension. Okay, and then this is a like frosty blues. Okay, so there we go. Don't forget to have a look in the description. If you click more a couple of times, you'll see the list. Please do visit everyone's channel, like, subscribe, share it, hype it, do whatever you need to do. But it's really great to have all that extra support for our channels, and the more likes we get, of course, the more recommendations we'll get for other people, which is brilliant. So we can build up our subscriberships and everything. So really appreciate that, and I appreciate you spending a bit of time looking at how to create these cards. Okay, that's it from me. Stay safe, take care, and I'll see you again soon. Bye bye.